Hey, what's up, everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so got an appointment with Lydia, the first one I've had probably since the first week of January. I went down there on a random day when I had a room switch day. Rushed down there and she was not available. I made my way down there and she wasn't there. The next two times I had to cancel. One of them days I was sick and the other day was a crammed Laker day. It was like if I go to her event, I wasn't going to be back to do the game or something like that. So I just decided to cancel. But no excuses today. I feel good. I'm actually happy to be getting out today. The weather's nice. It's only going to be about 76 degrees. Perfect weather. And I've been in the house for the last couple of days doing the Laker thing and doing art and stuff like that. So it's time to get out. It's a nice Monday, fresh Monday. Hope everyone's getting off to a good start in March. We got a lot to talk about, obviously, with the world in the state it's in. And, you know, it's a good day to be out, man. So, yeah, first of all, prayers out to anybody that lost anyone in war. This war, that war, any war, man. Just that's the first thing I want to say, man. Before we even get started on any opinions or any thoughts, I just want to send condolences out to people who've lost people in wars. I've been very fortunate to have not lost family members in wars, despite having family members who fought in them. My brother did 3 tours, and I believe in Afghanistan. I think probably other parts of the Middle East as well. My father, I don't think he served during wartime, but I do know that he was part of several naval missions and stuff like that back in the 50s or something like that. My grandfather fought in the Korean War, and I believe he had something to do in Nam, but I know he fought in the Korean War for certain. My other grandfather, my dad's dad, he was a fighter pilot. I'm not sure which war he fought in, so I'm not going to misspeak, but he was a decorated fighter pilot, had a lot of kills. My grandfather did. He had a lot of kills, man. They said at his funeral he shot down 101 people. Like he was not to be toyed with at all with the fighter jets. But everybody survived. All of my loved ones survived their tours. My brother most recently, he made it out. Dude, my brother is a monster. He's a Marine, and he's had to deal with real combat. Carried around a bazooka. Like, my little brother's a monster. Love him to death. I haven't spoken to him much since he came back from the war. Not close to him right now, but I think of him when I consider what's possible for some of these people who are going to be enlisting in the Marines and in armed forces right now. I think about his team. When they first came home from one of their tours, they went to visit one of the first things they did was come to my house, the whole team. You know what I mean? It was like 6 dudes that I was able to spend time with. My brother, as soon as they got home, my brother wanted to see me. I was very thankful for that. I wish I would have been kinder. I was in a weird space of mind that day. I don't remember why. I was just in a weird time in my life. But the point was, I was able to spend time with them dudes, and they were all dope individuals. I said all that to say that now we're entering wartime with Iran. We're, quote unquote, because I don't think most Americans want anything to do with this at all. I've been on record many times at this point saying I have no problem with people of Iran, and I've been paying a great deal of attention to what America's doing, and I don't think America is on the right side of history right now when it comes to this war, but I don't think we've been on the right side of history in any of them damn wars, to be honest with you. I really don't. I don't think we've been on the right side of history at all. We're colonial, imperialist land thieves, and a lot of what's been driving our country has been the same evil stuff that we're seeing today. So, for me, when I say we, as an American, I want people to understand firmly that I am not with none of this crap that America's doing. And I think America is in need of an entirely different way of doing things. I do believe that. I think we've allowed it to get to rock bottom at this point. I think we all, a good portion of us are aware of it. The few who are left to, listen to the Western media without something to weigh against it are still believing the nonsense, and that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. There's still people in our country who believe Israel is the same Israel from the Bible, and that following them is somehow is going to be pleasing to God. In fact, I was talking to somebody on my Bible study crew yesterday, and he alluded to that. I was like, my God, man, what you don't know is it's not harmless that you still believe Israel's the good guy. I wasn't going to get online and say that. I mean, get on the line with them during Bible study and oppose his position on Israel. But it was definitely in my heart to do so. I just didn't want the drama that comes with that. He was adamant saying that he don't understand why people keep saying that Israel and the Christians are the bad guys. I was like, brother, with all due respect, that you don't know that is a big problem. That you don't understand that is the case is a massive problem for a lot of people who don't deserve what's happening to them. And as much of this as I've been paying attention to, you are the big part of what it is that the conversation's about in regards to America. Why our country is on the wrong side of history, because we have so many people who believe that very thing. That individual that I Bible study with agrees with. Which is that Israel's the good guy. Christianity is unblemished in no way. Is it compromised by anything evil? And therefore, we're all supposed to just go forward in lockstep with the American intention right now, which is to overthrow the Iranian government and insert someone that the West approves of. I'm so distraught by the realities of that circumstance. America struck down a little girl's school, killing, last I checked, somewhere upwards of 180 children. There were no insurgents in that school. That killing was the same type of thing that Israel does in Gaza. What they are ramping up while they think people aren't paying attention to what's going on in Gaza. I want people to know that we still have our eyes on Gaza, and we understand that any opportunity they have to distract away from what they're doing to Gaza is essentially a cue for them to ramp up more of the suffering and more of the intentions that harm. But that is as it is. We'll talk about what they're doing in Iran. They blew up a school full of kids. I've heard people say that's not true. I've seen the bodies. Just like in Gaza, there's footage going around. There's a man who lost his daughter, and just like in Gaza, he's holding up her arm, severed, displaying to all of us the inhumane nature of what it is that had happened to his loved one. And so I want people to understand, don't think for 1 second that this is the right way to go. Don't think for 1 second that we're just on the right side of history because we have good intentions and we've been raised to believe that this is that and there's nothing else to it. There are things these people are doing that mirrors the behavior of what Israel's been doing in Gaza. They're doing that. They're taking that same energy and they're pointing it at Iran. They're taking that same horrific intention to kill Palestinian children, and they're doing it to Iranian children. This is not hearsay. This is what happened. This is a fact. And I've seen more than enough proof of the sort. Of course, America, in that same fashion, sent bombs at the leader of Iran, we call him the Ayatollah Khamenei. The man's like 90-something years old. From what I understand, he wasn't the greatest guy. I have heard many conversations from people online who are from Iran who have told us this guy stayed in office for 40 years. He hurt a lot of his own people trying to enforce his intentions. And there's a lot of resentment pointed at him, and there are a lot of people who legitimately are very pleased he's no longer with us. I trust those people's point of view. They've been balanced in regards to telling us, hey, that doesn't mean that the Western insertion of leadership is welcome. It just means that the person that they had in place was a dictator, and any type of dictatorship is going to have casualties. And they long for a certain freedom and liberation from those intentions. And that is why there is a lot of support for Israel and America overthrowing Khamenei's government. I understand that. Part that I have a hard time with is the fact that they blew up that man's entire house. They could have gotten him out a different way. They could have went in. That man is an 87-year-old man. You could have gotten him out without killing his family. His wife passed away this morning. His grandchild, who was an infant, died in that explosion. I saw pictures of her, and it just once again speaks to the intention that these people have to kill children. I cannot stress this enough. I am not aware of Khamenei in a positive light. I didn't hear the greatest things about him from reliable sources, but his 1-year-old infant grandchild should have not been killed in America's intention to take him out. That is an 87-year-old man. You can't tell me that you need to blow up an entire damn house to put him down. That was intentional. They knew who was in the house. With the technology that America and Israel has, they knew who was in the house. And they blew it up with the intention of killing him and that child and everybody else who lost their lives in that house. That shit is evil. I don't give a damn how you slice it. If their intention is to not protect that child in the event that they had to seize this man or take him out, then I want to acknowledge that that was an evil act. I'm not behind it as an American citizen, and that justice is in order for that child, whatever that looks like. Just like justice is in order for the 180 plus people who died in that little girl's school that they blew up for no damn reason. I need all of you who follow me to help me understand why I should be okay with them killing children in pursuit of a president. I need to understand why that would be okay for any of you to support. All my life I've believed that when it's time to go in to take somebody out, you make sure you don't kill any innocent people. All my life I've been taught that. And in this situation, I'm supposed to ignore that when they're in pursuit of an 87-year-old man? And we get on TV, and the president get on TV as usual in all his evil fashion and tell us that Khamenei was taken out. Tell us that we've lost some of our own soldiers. We lost like 5-6 people of our own. in the process of the retaliation of this, and to expect to lose more. And I'm sitting here saying, you killed a baby on purpose, and that's what's coming out of your damn mouth? And that's obviously surface level, because these people can kill millions of children at this point. They didn't kill thousands of children at this point. Gaza alone lets you know that they don't have no problem killing children. So it's not like I'm sitting here with some shock and awe. This is exactly what they do. But as they present this to all of us, and there are few who still believe their nonsense, I want to ask you, you're fine with them killing that baby? It has already been shown to me that they have the technology to determine who's inside of a building without actually having eyes in that building. That technology is available to our military and to Israel's military. They have the ability to tell you who's inside the room, how many live bodies are in the room, and what size they are. They can tell you that. They knew. They know who's in any building they decide to target. They knew it was a bunch of kids in that school. Who else is going to be in a damn school? These demons, they trying to provoke people into doing the evil that they do, so that they can be on the level that they are, so that we will support whatever they decide to do to these people. They crave a certain support, so what they end up doing is they understand that the levels that they're willing to go to are lower than the level of the opponent, so they dig down in that muck and they try to provoke the spiritual just self-destruction of the opponent. I want you to consider that when these people run around telling you that Islam is terrorist and that Muslim people are terrorists and that people who are brown are looking to blow you up and all this evil stuff that they've been telling you, if you're eating the slop that they're selling. I want you to consider that they are killing children on purpose so that they can provoke those who they say are horrible people into doing things that morally they would never do. Now, if you're putting two and two together, how is it that they are as bad as these people say they are if it requires this provocation to get them to do things that are ultimately deplorable? If they're as horrible as people say they are, then why are the people trying so hard to provoke them into doing things that can ultimately justify those labels? Shouldn't that be something that they do without any provocation, without any motivation? This is demonic energy that has no problem provoking people who are trying to keep themselves on the right side of morality into betraying that morality and sending their souls to hell. Why do they want to provoke these people to send their souls to hell? Because they know God exists. They know God is not pleased with these behaviors. Their souls are already damned for repeatedly behaving in this way, and they want to drag others with them, just like the devil does in his intentions of all time. He's always trying to drag people to the hell that he's in, to the fate that he deserves. He wants you to earn your way to hell so that you can rot with him. These people, they mirror the enemy of God. As I've been illustrating to you on this channel for over 3 years since the beginning of this genocide, they mirror the energy of the enemy of God. They are always trying to do his works, follow his imprint on the earth, always. And this is yet another example. They will bomb children so that the only way you can get back at them is if they bomb your children. They're trying to provoke Islam into harming innocent people here in the States and in Western world countries where you lay your head. That's what the intention is. This is why they bomb a school, because they're trying to provoke the other side to do the same thing to you. That is the purpose of this. They're trying to provoke those people into decaying their own souls, to convert them into the energy of the enemy of God as they engage in. They're trying to drag these people's souls to hell, knowing that otherwise they wouldn't deserve it, while they simultaneously tell you that these are evil people. Hey, buddy. And that is the thing we need to understand about these people, that they're trying to drag good people to hell while simultaneously telling all of you that they're bad people. Trying to provoke them into doing bad things to justify the label they place upon them ahead of time. And they respect us so little that they will engage in the same behaviors that ultimately they're trying to provoke, without having any respect for the reality that we are paying attention to them, that we condemn these behaviors no matter who's engaging in them, and ultimately that there are losses, valuable losses taking place because of these actions. While they're telling you these people are evil, they're doing the evil. While they're telling you these people are terrorists, they are terrorizing. While they're telling you these people are looking to do bad things, they are doing the bad. And they're trusting that you will be too stupid to do the homework. They're trusting that you have been so brainwashed by their propaganda for so long that you will just trust them without actually doing it. That's what they're hoping. That's what they're counting on. And most importantly, that's how little they care about their own reputations, about what you think of them, about the people that they're harming, about the respect of a good and having integrity upon their word. They don't care about none of that, because they serve the enemy of God. And in serving the enemy of God, they look to destroy themselves and others. They look to betray those who support them. They look to throw people under the bus who work with them. This is why they're so reckless. This is why their lies don't add up. As we talk about several times on this channel, this is why they do what they do. Because they're not afraid of failure. They're intentional on failing. They've already lost. It's like the equivalent of a suicide bomber. He expects to die. He plans on dying. He's going to take you with him. And that's exactly what this is. It's a crash out. It's a devilish crash out. And they feel like anytime they kill a child, they've sacrificed something to the devil they serve that will make it so that he'll pour some favor into their situation. That's why they keep targeting children as well. Because they think they get some spiritual power out of doing so. This is why they do the things that we learned about in the Epstein files. Because they believe that there's some spiritual benefit to it all. So yes, it will continue. And yes, they will do more of it. And yes, it could be your child next. Or you next that gets sacrificed in this process. There was a man went into Austin bar a few days ago. Black man, immigrant. Apparently, he was wearing a shirt that said, "Property of Allah." And two, underneath his shirt, his sweater, I guess they said that he had some type of pro-Iranian shirt. He walked into a bar, shot up about 13 people. Several of them passed away from what I understand. When they went into his car, they found a Quran. If you've been paying attention to the same stuff I'm paying attention to, you're pretty damn certain that's a false flag. Likely, this is an individual that had probably been snatched up by ICE, that they told if he didn't do this, they'd probably do terrible things to his kid and his wife. That's likely what this is. Likely, more than likely, actually. This is on par with everything else they do. False flags. A good portion of us who've been paying attention to this genocide, we expect this. Those of you follow my channel and listen to what it is I've been saying probably expected this. They're trying to provoke the Islamic people into betraying the Lord himself. That's exactly what's going on there, y'all. And they're trying to get all of us to align with them in doing so. Not because the Islamic people are some horrible human beings, but because these people are horrible human beings and they know that God loves them people. That's exactly why that's happening. They hate God. These people are aligned with God in a devout and unblemished way. And they're trying to snatch these people's souls away from the Lord himself. That is what's going on there spiritually. It's happening. If these people adhere to it, they will be damned. If they bomb innocent people in response to innocent people being bombed, their souls will be damned. They will then become the bad guys. You can't win the war that way. You can't win the war of public opinion that way. They'll spend the rest of eternity in hell. And that is what these enemies of God understand these people fear. Understand these people love God and respect God and would never harm his children. They would never do the things that these people are doing and saying that they are doing. They would never do this. And I need all of y'all who've been drinking the Kool-Aid, eating the slop, to understand that this has been proven to me. Proven. I don't speak to you from some space of faith, so to speak. This is what evidence has shown me. We've been lied to all of our lives about the Muslim faith, about Islamic people, about Middle Eastern people. We've been lied to. Are there some Middle Eastern people that ain't no good? Yeah, plenty of them. That's why Israel's as strong as it is, because it got plenty of them in their back pocket. Plenty of them willing to do for the West whatever the West wants in betraying of their own people. That's the version of the evil that I've seen within their own people. It's a bunch of turncoats. That's what I've seen. That's the version of evil that I can attest to. They got a lot of people that turn on each other over there. A lot of people that have chosen the devil's intentions and the substance of material over the relationship with God that ultimately they collectively agree to. Yes, there's a lot of evil over there. So I'm not here to tell you that it's only good people over there. There's a lot of bad people over there. They on America's side against their own people. But I'm telling you, man, this is a different type of evil you're dealing with when you're talking about these people. This is a different type of evil that we're dealing with here. This is not just about money. It's not just about power and land. That is on the surface, icing on the cake. That's what we need to understand. That's not what they're after. That's what's supposed to be a benefit for doing the devil's intentions. And that's what I think people are looking at it backwards. On the forefront of what they're doing is spiritual. On the forefront of what they're doing has to do with their inherent belief in Satan himself and all of the different costumes that he wears. They are trying to do his bidding, and as a result, if they do, they are told they can inherit the earth. They can have maximum efficiency. They can get away with whatever their heart's desires and their flesh desires. That's what this is. It's not about necessarily the things that people think it is. Money, power, all of that is what comes with doing what the devil wants them to do. First comes doing what he wants them to do, the intention. To break the heart of God, convert the good people of the earth into evil people, and ultimately destroy the earth and rid the earth of its innocence. That's exactly what the real intention is, what the whole purpose is about. Create chaos and converting all of us into being worse versions of ourselves without the morality that ultimately we were raised with. That is what the purpose is. Everything else is what comes with it. If it boils down between a choice of land, money, and wealth, or pleasing the enemy of God, they're going to choose pleasing the enemy of God over the money and the wealth. It's essentially what I'm telling y'all. This is the devil walking the earth in the human form. And we need to understand that so that we don't play this game the wrong way or position ourselves the wrong way in regards to our individual lives during these times. So a lot of y'all gonna position yourselves in a way that views it as if they prioritize certain things that they don't prioritize. You're gonna bet wrong and you're gonna be in the wrong. You're going to do something that ultimately meets their bottom line, which is converting your spirit into being worse. And this is one of the things that the Lord has tasked me with conversing about on this channel. Making sure that everybody who follows me hears these words and understands it for what it is. You can't win this war by doing to them what they've done to you. Because the purpose of what they're trying to do is that. Force you into that. They're trying to make it so that you take the easy way out, the lazy way out, so that you'll be done, man. That's literally it. And so I'm telling all of y'all, a lot of us have been raised the wrong way. We listen to these people. We get into these churches that have all these people in place that have been bought and paid for, who are sexually compromised. I'm telling you, man. Because that's what's wrong. A good portion of our clergy people are evil, compromised individuals in place to please the enemy of God. And they are teaching us to be fine with the people of the enemy of God, doing whatever it is they choose. And we need to be strong enough of the spirit and receptive enough of the mind and the heart to the Lord's intentions for us to receive the truth through the fog. Because if you follow them down the path that they want you to follow them on, you're going to strengthen their intention and you're going to facilitate the devil's intentions on this earth. They're always engaged in some psychological nonsense, some false flags, some whataboutisms, some I know you are, but what am I psychology nonsense, labeling the others what it is that they are. I saw a guy in the comment section essentially say that Islam serves ball. He was saying, thank God the Jews have the right God because Islam serves ball. I'm like, yo, this is I know you are, but what am I? We have already proven through all of what it is that we're paying attention to, including the Epstein files, that you idiots serve ball. Not the other way around, but they don't care about the truth. They just look to intend to influence those who are not doing homework toward believing whatever it is they tell them, to facilitate the betrayal that ultimately comes with trust in these people. Coercing you into spaces where, whether you're going against them or with them, you're being dragged to hell, doing something that God would ultimately detest you doing. It's their intention. Whether you're mad at them or support them, the intention is the same. Provoke you into a space where you're doing something that the Lord does not appreciate. That is exactly what they're here to do. By hook or crook, by love or hate or war, whatever the case may be, they're trying to provoke you into a space where you're doing things that God does not appreciate. That is what it's about. And it's going to be very easy to do so, especially when you're retaliating against them for doing something horrible to the innocents in your life. The first thing you want to do is bomb the hell out of them. First thing you want to do is kill all their kids. And then you become them, and that is when they have met their main goal. Main goal. They're trying to provoke the brokenhearted and the weak into turning into terrorists. That is what they're trying to do. And they engage in every art of deception known to man, with absolutely no regard for their own reputation, for the facilitation of their own failures, and certainly not for the facilitation of others' failure. When you apply this logic, you make sense of what it is they do. When you realize that they don't care if they fail or not, that is not really all that important if you find out they're lying or not, because they still gonna stand on a lie and do some type of mental gymnastics with whatever the hell they find. opportunity to do so with, then you understand that they're perfectly fine with telling you some white lie that only takes 2 Googles to figure out it isn't true. And that they think so little of you and are so arrogant within themselves that further drives that intention. And so as I tell all of y'all, man, there's absolutely no reason for them to bomb that girl's school. There was no reason for them to kill that man's granddaughter in pursuit of him. There's no reason for them to be trying to overthrow these people's government. Nothing that actually aligns with anything that is of God at all. Talking about going in there and liberating the Iranian people. They don't have any intention of liberating the Iranian people. They have intention of converting all of the good Iranian people into being awful people. Putting down their religion and engaging in debauchery. Probably engaging in a bunch of false flags over the next several years in their country. Making it look like there's war in that space where there otherwise isn't any in some cases. That's what they plan on doing, sacrificing the people. Arming different militias in those countries to turn it into muck and dirt. Sopping from it all of its natural resources and arming all of its militias to do their bidding all over the world. That is exactly what they're trying to do. And seize all of their technology, from which I understand is very strong, to make themselves twice as strong. That's what they're trying to do. As I told y'all a couple weeks ago, one of the main things they're trying to do with that is make it so that they don't need us anymore. Once they take over them people's stuff and have their army, that gives them more leverage against having to use us in whatever ways they don't choose to. Having to capitulate to us in ways that they don't intend to. The little leverage U.S. has left gets gone when they take over that place and get that hold of that army and that technology. And then they can do with us whatever they choose. So I'm trying to get people to understand, man, this is not minor at all. The last thing you need to be doing if you're somebody who believes in fairness, believes in God, supports the goodness in the hearts of innocents, is supporting them on this mission. You have no business supporting them on this mission. If you have any morality at all, you have no business supporting them on this mission. And your responsibility morally is to oppose it. That's what it is. That's the truth. Now, this is directly the enemy of God in human form, doing its bidding in all forms of deception possible. Targeting innocent people on purpose for the sake of sacrificing to the devil they serve. And for the simultaneous purpose of provoking those who are hurt by those actions into doing the same. In the devil's name. That's exactly what they're trying to do there. I feel like this is something that I've said very clearly in many different videos. I'm not afraid to tell the truth. I've already been scolded by these people several times about my intention to support those who are on the right side of this thing, those who don't want to influence hatred, those who don't want to influence terror in the hearts of the innocent. I've already made it very clear that I think these people have a right to defend themselves against that energy. Support them in doing so in every way necessary except for destroying innocent people. And it's going to take a great deal of discipline to keep them from doing so, because at this point they have every reason to do so. And what concerns me about that reality is there may be further false flags against innocent people done by the enemy of God, framing these individuals if they don't behave this way themselves. They're going to try to further kill the same people that ultimately they're hoping these people will kill, and then say they did it. It's just what they do. We should expect that. Not expecting that is silly at this point. I've been telling y'all for years, man. I'm telling you for years now. This is not a new conversation. I am not a new voice in this space when it comes to this. I'm not the only person saying this. I've been ahead of a lot of things in regards to this. I'm not surprised by this war. I'm not surprised by these behaviors. I won't be surprised by what they do next either. You cannot negotiate with these people. This is what I was talking about in regards to positioning yourselves the wrong way. Thinking that money is the most important thing or leverage is the most important thing to these people. You're going to position yourself the wrong way, trusting them to prioritize that money. This is a very important conversation, man. Very important aspect of the conversation. Money is secondary to their main goal, which is to convert souls into doing wrong. So if you are trying to protect yourself by positioning yourself to be able to offer up money, or you think that because of the position that they may have to gain a great deal from doing a certain thing, money-wise, that it ultimately keeps you safe in certain areas. You're going to lose your life dealing with these people thinking that they prioritize money and land over doing the bidding of the enemy of God. You're going to lose your life positioning yourself as if you're safe so long as they're in a position to gain money. That you're safe so long, or that they're going to keep their word because there's a great deal of money to be earned. If they have a chance to make the devil happy and convert a good soul into doing something horrible, that is what's priority over money and wealth and land. I cannot stress this enough. I really need people to understand this. This is what I've learned. In America, you got to understand something, man. You really have to understand. I'm looking at a bunch of American flags across the street. Your country was built on the slaughtering of innocent people. Okay? And although the rhetoric that we use in regards to our national anthem is that this is one nation under God and all these different, declarations to a greater holy one above this land. But the reality is, you did detestable things to lay down the foundation for all of what it is this became afterward. And because of it, there's a certain energy that's going to be coming our way that isn't of the Holy Spirit, isn't of God, in regards to the fate of our country. And that others may have done this in other places does not spiritually justify the atrocities that took place on this land. Because I've heard the argument that every land was conquered at one point. Every nation was started by stealing the land from somebody. That's just how we do it. So why are we any different? It does not absolve America from the repercussions and spiritual repercussions and consequences for the slain nature of the innocent people that it killed to build this thing, man. It doesn't. God ain't interested in, well, they did it, so we should get away with it. That's not how spirit works. That's not how the spirit world works. There are no qualifiers. Even if everybody else did it, you're going to suffer for what you did. And the prioritization of trying to justify narratives in the world does nothing for protecting you against the ramifications spiritually. You can convince every person living that something is right. You will not be able to get over on the one that matters most. In that regard, you can justify it in all the humans' minds. You did not win doing so. God still watches what you did. He knows what you did. He's not susceptible to any psychological, ways or operations or word games or qualifiers. He's not. He's immune to all of that. And you will be punished. You don't absolve yourself from punishment just because you've been very convincing to the limited understanding of mankind. Mankind only understands but so much. God understands everything, and he's still holding people accountable. He's still holding nations accountable for its actions, according to those actions, and according to his will. He told mankind well before America was established not to harm his little ones. And we killed many innocent people, many innocent children. To deform the land we have, bro, we are going to suffer horrible fates in reaction to that karma. Spiritually, it's just inevitable. You have left yourself spiritually vulnerable for a terrible fall. Because this is ill-gotten gain and God sees all. I cannot stress this enough. The things that you did to the slaves, the things that you did to the natives, the things that you did to other countries. You can convince all of us in this nation that it was fine to do so and that there's no negative spiritual repercussions because we have so much power. God is immune to that. He don't care about none of it. He's not interested. He's not fooled by any of that. You're not winning no battle against him in that regard. You can't convince him that it's okay to do evil things and that somebody else did it, so it's fine. He's not going to hear any of that. He's going to look at you with a blank stare and he's going to proceed to engage in what it is he chooses. And because we act as if the only thing to do is to convince mankind of things, we leave ourselves susceptible to the spiritual ramifications of things. Y'all think all y'all got to do is convince me that it's okay that y'all do evil. I don't have any say-so of what happens to you. The one you are incapable of confusing is responsible for what your fate will be. That's the grand irony. You can convince everybody but the person you must. And you're compounding more of the same to keep yourself propped up. And so your fall will be devastating. This is why I don't follow this country down every road. This is why I don't do the whole wave the flag thing, because I'm not spiritually bankrupt as to think that we fooled God by all of the good deeds that we did that are supposed to make it okay that we slaughtered so many people to build this thing. No. All of the evil that you did to build this thing will come down on you when it's time for you to go down, and it's coming. I will not follow y'all down a path of where that's not reality, because it's not. It's not feasible for me to act as if I don't understand the spirit when I do. If you knew better, you do better. I know better. Your rhetoric and convincing nature and brainwashing tactics, getting everyone on board, did not convince the one you needed to convince. You didn't manipulate the one who you need to manipulate in order for you to be able to get away with this and have good favor going forward and be able to last for all time. This thing was cursed as soon as you hurt the first person you hurt in the name of making this thing happen. You already put yourself in the crosshairs of the enemy. You already set yourself up to be used as a pawn in his game, just by engaging in ill-gotten gain. You damned this thing before it even got started. And I've understood this without actually having it articulated in this way. I've understood this my entire life. As soon as I understood what they did to build this thing, I understood what it is I just described to you. And a lot of good things were done in this country. A lot of good people lived and bled and loved in this country. And they died, and some of them died good lives. And that's what was due to them for the good that they did. But understand that you built this thing. You, white supremacy, built this thing on the backs of individuals who did not deserve to suffer. And because of it, there will be some spiritual repercussions. You don't get to escape. And you can scramble all you want for dear life. You can push forward all the manipulation tactics, convincing in whatever way you choose, every human being you're able to, and the truth will still bleed through. You can put sleeper cells in every corner of every country, put surveillance information or surveillance technology in every device, it's not going to change the reality of what it is that you've done and the natural spiritual repercussions of that behavior. It's coming for you. I know what's coming for you. The people you killed, the innocent people you killed, their spirits are with God. He hears their cries every single day for the justice to their martyrdom. Every child you ever killed, He's in their presence right now. Going all the way back to the beginning stages of your intentions, all the way to who you just murdered today. The Lord is with each and every one of those people. All of the little ones. He is not lost in regards to you and your intentions and ultimately what's due to you because of it. You're not confusing him with your propaganda. You're not confusing him with your rhetoric. You're not convincing him, persuading him with your words. None of that is working here. Not when it comes to the one that matters most. The one you need to convince in order for your fate to go right. You can't psych him out. And so that's what I'm here to tell you. That's what he put me on earth to tell you, amongst other things, man. And if this thing was started, it was doomed before it even started because of what you were willing to do and what it is you chose to do to build it. If your foundation is bad, then what you build on top of that foundation will go bad when that foundation comes loose. It just is what it is. You can't do whatever you want to do. That's the moral of the story. There's an example that we're leaving to the future peoples, as the examples were left to us. And God will teach those lessons, man. He will teach those lessons. Your fate will be a lesson learned for those who learn of you. And that is why the fate of this country is pretty much sealed. Bdf 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.